mission is to preserve and promote the history of these 4 sites. So in order to do that, we run programs and events, and of course the pews allow us to have seating for those events. Here at Zion Hill, we can do speaker series. We have concerts coming up, concerts that have to do with East Texas history. So it definitely does help us with our mission.
Can you elaborate on the significance of Adopt a Pew Showcase in terms of like engaging with the community and preserving communities?
Yeah, absolutely. So after the restoration of the church, it allowed us time to kind of focus on the pews, which were taken out of the church during restoration. In order to do the pews, we thought of doing a community outreach event. So we did an Adopt a Pew program where people could adopt a whole pew for restoration, a portion of the pew, or just give to the overall restoration of it. And the response was overwhelming. In no time at all, we had all the pews sponsored to be restored. So it was amazing feedback from the community and just further proof that Nacogdoches loves preserving history.
And so, how do you anticipate the increased seating capacity provided by the store?
So, before the pews were in here, there really wasn't a lot of options for seating. If you see on the floor behind me, it kind of dips at an angle, and so the pews themselves are built specifically for the floor. Any other chairs just wouldn't work with that type of floor. So, whereas we had no seating before in the sanctuary, we do now have seating options. And of course, we have some areas where we could add more chairs, but it definitely helps with capacity for our events.
What strategies do you plan to implement to ensure the long-term maintenance and preservation of the resort?
Absolutely. So we worked with Tracy's Custom Carpentry. He did the beautiful restoration of the pews, and then after it was done, we kind of talked to him on what measures we needed to take to preserve the pews from here on out. And of course, any restoration that's needed, we will reach out to the community to see about getting help restoring the pews in the future. But there's definitely some techniques that we'll use periodically throughout the year to make sure they stay looking this nice.
Thank you. And what message do you hope to convey through the plaques on the pews you've seen?
The plaque.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
I guess, how does the inclusion of the plaques on the pews contribute to the storytelling aspect of the historic site?
Absolutely. So the plaques on the pews kind of show not only the people that and the organizations that gave to the Adopt a Pew program, but they're just a great example of how much support Nacogdoches has for history, historic preservation, and just betterment of the community as a whole. So it definitely just shares a story about how this project kind of brought everyone together and how everyone contributed.
And then, is there anything else you'd like to add? I know you saw people come in today. What are some of those reactions?
So we had a good turnout today, and we're still waiting for people to come in and out. And of course, we gave people an opportunity. If they couldn't come today, they can bring their organization later on to take a picture with their pew. But the response has been wonderful. Everybody thinks the pews turned out beautiful, and they're very just gracious, and we're of course so grateful for their support. So we've had a good turnout. The music sounds amazing in here. This is actually the first time we've had music at the church, so it's been fun.
And is there anything else you'd like to add that I may have missed?
Having the pews here again allows us to do events, and we do have a concert coming up on June 9th with Steve and Cheryl Hart. So this will be a perfect opportunity to test out the pews and join the concert. And that information's on our website, nactx.us/historic sites.
And I did forget to ask one question.
Yeah.
So how was the process just restoring the pews? I know we've been covering it before.
Yeah.
So how long was it in?
So the restoration did take several months. Each pew was a different level of deterioration. So the pews had already been moved out of the building for the restoration. They were held in storage units around Nacogdoches. And so we went through the regular bidding process to find a craftsman to do the project. Tracy, with his smaller shop, was doing it in batches. So we would take trips to the storage units, have his team pick up the pews, work on the pews, deliver them here at the church, and then we did that several times times, but eventually all the pews were in place and we were able to put them in. We kind of had to wait till all of the pews were done in order to put them back in to see how they fit into the space. So it was definitely, it was a unique project just because, like I said, each pew needed, different touches of restoration.